Here's another Big Brother exit interview for Big Brother 26.
Hello and welcome to the Royalty. We are here with our evicted house guest, Joseph. Joseph, welcome, but I'm sorry to have to interview you this way.
Right. It's all good. It happens. I didn't go out like super early. So I'm like, okay, it could be more embarrassing. You know, that's how
Yeah,
I
you
took
could have
it.
been first.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
No, but even still, it's not embarrassing. That game is hard. So the
Yeah.
fact that you lasted 7 weeks, I believe, correct me if I'm
Seven
wrong. Yeah,
weeks,
the fact
six
that you
without being
lasted 7 weeks,
nominated.
exactly,
Yeah. Not
exactly.
bad.
That's a testament to you doing well.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right into it. Walk us through your strategy from before you walked into the Big Brother house. How did you adapt to the environment? Because as we know, it's a game where you kind of have to go with the flow. And were you
Yeah.
ever planning on altering your strategy from playing a very low-key behind the scenes game? Like illuminate your strategy and your game for viewers
Yeah.
who may not have seen it.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So my strategy going in was kind of because I am a direct and blunt person, was to kind of stick with that because I figured if I was like that, that people would think I wasn't lying when I was. You know what I mean? They'd be like, Joseph always keeps it real. He's always up front with me. That way I could kind of obscure when I'm actually lying. I did want to lay low more so at first, but I felt like the first week I was there, I had to do something about Matt, bro. He was just like running back and forth. And so I was ratting on everything he did to Angela. And Angela, like, that's kind of what started that thing with them was I was the first one when he was in the backyard saying all that stuff. I was the first one to go to Angela and be like, this is what he's doing, blah, 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 blah. And I tried to do the collective, then she blew it up. And after that happened, I was just like, man, I gotta lay low, maybe. Like, I feel like my
Mhm.
name is like out there. I feel like there's heat on me. And I feel like I kind of got spooked a little bit. And I kind of took my foot off the gas there, where I probably should have just kept being a little bit more aggressive. But it
Mhm.
was my strategy to kind of lay low in the beginning, not win as much. And then once it's down to numbers, I knew I wasn't going to be good at the competitions, like going into the show. So I was like, when it gets down like 7, 6, 8, and there's quizzes that come up, that'll be your jam. Hopefully you can win one. I would study the days like crazy. I was like, hopefully you can win one at like an opportune time where you're able to do something with it and show people like, oh shit, this kid was actually playing. You know what I'm saying? And so that was kind of my strategy going into it, was to just kind of be low key, not seen as a threat, but also kind of be doing things behind the scenes. I had that final two with Tucker since day like 5, 6, and I knew that he was going to be loyal to it right away because he swore on his family to me and was just like, "This is what I'm going to do." And I was like, and as the game developed, I realized like that dude's not this. He's not going to go back on that. Like this
Mm.
dude is not going to go back on that. And in his exit interview that I saw with Sharon, he said as much that he was going to stick with me. But it was always my thing with him. If I got to the final three with him and he took me to the end, so be it. Right. But if it was like a thing where it's the final three and I won that final HOH, he would have gone. That was like kind of my thinking with it, that I would take him far in the game because he could benefit me to get to that point. But if I'm like, I'm going to do the Steve, what he did to Vanessa type of thing, like I'll cut him like at that point if I need to. So,
For sure. Thanks for answering that question. And my follow-up to that is you mentioned how you weren't on the block for 6 weeks. That's
mm-hmm.
very impressive. You were one
Mm-hmm.
of like the last three people in the house to be nominated, I
Last
believe.
guy too.
Last guy, okay.
Yeah.
But what changed between weeks 6 and 7? How do you go from not being nominated, not
I
really
think
being looked at, and now you're a target?
I think that my strategy at the beginning of the game was to appear alone, but actually have people. I had Chelsea, I had Cedric, I had Tucker, but then as the game developed, I actually was alone. And once Tucker was gone, one of my number ones was like out of the game. And then I'm like, well, I guess I got to go with Quinn now. You know what I mean? And I kind of been working on this thing with Leah, and I was like, well, I guess I got to go with them now. You know what I'm saying? But that was the first HOH when he left, where I was like, there's 4 or 5 people who could win this where you would get put up. You know what I mean? That was like the first time. Every week before that, I was like, there's only 2 people who could win, 3 people, one person who could win, where like you're in serious danger. This was like
Mhm.
the first week where I was like, I am fucked. Like if like certain people don't win this.
Yeah.
So I felt like I kind of pushed myself into a corner with the relationships in the house. And that was the issue, was that after I flipped on Cedric, Chelsea was never going to mess with me again. Like she just was off of me. Like after that, I could just tell that there was like no going back with her. Me and Cam were cool, but I was never going to be even his number one, number two, number three. Same thing with Mackenzie. We were cool, but that's the thing that I've realized is I was cool with people. They liked me, but they already had other things going on. So once Tucker was gone, it was like, damn, I just kind of put myself in a corner.
Yeah, your shields were gone. And also people can most definitely mess with you as a person. For the most part, it's all love in there, but maybe you just don't benefit their game. And it's kind of crazy how this season HOHs have been sending home their close allies. I'm not really understanding that from the perspective of a viewer and even from the perspective of a former player.
Right.
But I do have one last question for you. Unfortunately, our time is short. But who should we be paying attention to a bit more? Who is the season's dark horse to take it home? I think one theme we've seen this season is it's been very unpredictable and chaotic, and you can't really pinpoint what these players are thinking. So based on the information that you know, who's going to win? My winner pick was you. You ruined my winning streak for the last 5 seasons. Hannah. No, it's okay. It's okay. Just if you did that.
You know, as far as dark horse, I feel like Chelsea's the obvious one, so she's not a dark horse, right? But so for dark horses, I think Rubina is a dark horse to win. I think she's a freaking player. I don't think people really see that, but during that first week, I really thought she was with Matt. And then she came up to me in the backyard. She's like, Joseph, I think I want to do something. And I was like, we should make a big move. And as soon as I said that, she just hopped on. She's like, yes, like we need to get Matt. Like, and I was just like, whoa, I did not expect that from you. And she kind of did that throughout the season where she would do things that were like cutthroat. She would say things that I was like, whoa, you're like a gamer. Like, you know how this works. I feel like her social games, what got Chemo and T-Core so close to her to where they were willing to flip that vote to save her. And I was willing to like vote to save her. You know what I mean? So like, she's playing and she's winning some competition. She stayed up on the wall for a super long time. She kicked my ass in that AI arena. Like, she's a beast, man. So and she was always nice to me. Like, never had a mean word to say to anybody. And then I'll go with another dark horse. I'll say Mackenzie. I feel like the first 45 days she was out of the loop completely, and I don't really respect that. But she can win some comps now down the stretch to where she can make some big moves. She just won the veto. It seems like they're talking about maybe using it. And so like if she does that and then she wins a couple more things, she was literally one of the sweetest people in the house. So, you know, I don't think there's any reason she shouldn't win or couldn't win, you know.
I was just going to say the last couple seasons of BBUS have kind of paralleled BB Can, which happens a couple months prior. Bailey just won this last season of BB Can. I'm sort of thinking that Mackenzie might be the winner of this season.
No,
we'll see. But I also believe in Chelsea. She was
like the Lisa Donahue of our season. That's how I kept looking at her, the winner of season 3, where like she was kind of like on the outs or whatever, but then like won some competitions down the stretch. People kind of forgot about her for a little bit, and then she was able to kind of and I always told Mackenzie that. I always told Mackenzie, like before we go to bed, I was like, if you just stick around, like you'll be fine, like eventually. You know what I mean? And I think that prophecy might come true. We'll see.
Okay, well, we'll see. You guys heard it here first on the Royal Tea. Joseph thinks that either Chelsea or MJ will win. Thank you so much for your time,
Rubina
Joseph.
As well. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, Rubina too. Rubina too. I apologize. But thank you so much for your time, Joseph. Welcome to the Royal Tea. Welcome to the BB alum community and family. We're happy to have you. Please let me, Tiffany, or Big D know if you need anything at all. We're happy to help, happy to kind of hold your hand through this adjustment. But yeah, so lovely meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Where should we follow you, Joseph? We want to tag you in the video.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, very nice meeting you.
Where can we follow you?
Oh, sorry. Broseph Rodriguez. Yeah, there we go.
All right, perfect. All right, Joseph, very nice meeting you. We'll see you in the future, okay?
Take it easy, Big D. Appreciate you.
All right, good luck with everything. Bye.
Okay.